Hi and welcome to the Crochet Circle. My name is Alex and in today's video I want to show you how to make a letter R. So I guess I can just get started. As you know from before, I'm just gonna write the letter R out and then I'm gonna explain how it's gonna be done. It's not nice, but it's gonna do. So the first part of the R is we're gonna start with the leg. We're gonna go up, then I'm gonna do the extension, increases here until this part, and then I'm gonna finish here. So this will be part 1, don't worry about it, all the important timestamps will be written down in the description below, and the whole pattern for the letter R will be posted also on my homepage, where you can definitely check it out. So this will be part number 1. Part number 2 will be starting here, doing this kind of an arch, a curve, and finishing up at the top. And then the third part is gonna be the second leg of the R. As you can see, if you just don't do the leg, you can also make a P out of it. But I'm gonna come to letter P a bit later, and yeah, it's gonna be a separate tutorial for a letter P. So I'm just gonna get started. Now that you saw how the letter R will be made, I have my red cotton yarn, I have my 3mm hook, and as all the letters I do, the base is chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, chain 8. I'm gonna do chain 1 just to level it up, and a single crochets all the way till the end. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Altogether it's gonna be 8 single crochets. 5, 6, 7, and 8. If I'm gonna be able to get the last stitch in. It's much easier if I would be doing just through the top loop, but I do want to get through 2 loops because it's more, I think it comes out much nicer, to be honest, and that's how just I'm doing it. If you're used to doing it with just 1 loop, you can definitely do that as well. So this is my row number 1 done. I begin down here. Now I need 12 rows of 8 single crochets, so I need to do 11 more. As you saw, I did chain 1 just to level it up, and single crochets till the other side. Row number 2 is done. Now I'm up to row number 3. Row number 4. So something went wrong with my camera, but don't worry, you didn't miss much. I am on row number 6 here, so I have 6 rows done. I'm on row number 7 and it's single crochets. Each row has 8 single crochets, and I have to get to row number 12, and on row number 12 I'm gonna be doing the extension for the upper part of the R. I did forgot to count the rows, but I'm just gonna count them like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need 3 more rows. So this is gonna be row number 10. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm still on track with 8 single crochets within each row. Now this is gonna be 11th row. I'm just gonna double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And now I'm at the 12th row, so I'm here. Yeah, I almost pointed at the wrong place where I am at the moment with the letter R, but I'm just where the leg gets extended, and I'm here. So this part is 9 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can see it kind of is starting to get its shape. Now I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of extending on this side and having a straight edge on the other side. So if I want to do an increase, first I'm going to do a chain 1. That means I'm going to go up into the next row, and then in the second chain from the hook I am going to do 2 single crochets. So that's 1, 2. Now in the next one I'm just gonna do single crochets all the way till the end, and then I should have 10 plus 8, 18 single crochets in this row. I'm gonna double check it when I finish at least this part. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, again. This one is also a stitch. I have a bit of a odd loop here, but now you can see because it's now equally. It's now nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 8 more single crochets on the leg. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I need 4 more rows like this. So it's gonna be a straight edge on this side. I'm just gonna do single crochets, and then in the last stitch of the row I'm gonna do an increase meaning 2 single crochets into one stitch. This is gonna be, I think, the first letter that I'm in my series of the alphabet, so if you're watching the videos in the order I'm putting them on, this is gonna be actually the first letter that I'm gonna be using increases and decreases. So an increase, as I said, is just 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and a decrease is join 2 single crochets into one stitch. So with an increase you get 2 stitches from one, in a decrease you get 1 stitch from 2 stitches. I hope it kind of makes sense, but it is just like the word already suggests, an increase, adding something, a decrease, removing something. Now this is the last stitch, so I'm gonna do 2 single crochets in this. Now I have 2 rows done, I need 3 more. Chain 1 to go into the next round, and then an increase, so it's 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and single crochets till the end of the row. Now that's 3 rows done, I need 2 more rows, so it's gonna be, this is the straight edge, I'm just doing single crochets until the last stitch of the row, where I'm gonna do an increase. Almost at the end, so this now is my last stitch, and I have to do 2 single crochets in that stitch because it's an increase. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, I need 1 more. Again, the edge one is an increase, so that means 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and just single crochets then till the end. Now this is the 5th row that I have to make, and I am here, so all I need is 5 more rows of just single crochets with the same width as the leg, so that means 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Chain 1 to go into the next round, and 8 single crochets as well. So row number 2 is almost done. Now I'm up to row number 3. Row number 4. And row number 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 single crochets. I'm just doing chain 1, cutting the yarn and pulling the yarn through. So part 1 of the letter R is done. You can already kind of see here how it's gonna come back. I'm gonna start with the part 2. I'm gonna leave some tail for sewing it in now, and I need to go 9. I'm gonna start in the 9th stitch from the right side, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes. Actually, no, it's 1 less because I forgot to count the starting one, because I have 2 here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I should start it from this side. So I'm gonna do a chain 1 just to level up the row. Now I have to do a decrease. That means I'm gonna go in this stitch, in. I'm gonna just go through the first loop of the single crochet, and I'm gonna go into the next stitch, and I'm gonna pull the yarn through. I'm gonna tighten it up a bit and pull the yarn through. So this is my stitch number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So I have 8 single crochets here. Now the next row is gonna be an increase on the right side and a decrease on the left side. Again, I'm gonna do chain 1 to go 1 row up, and I'm gonna do 2 single crochets on this side. I'm gonna do 6 more single crochets, and then from the last 2 single crochets of the previous round, I'm gonna join them together, just 1, and then on the second one through both loops and do a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the next row calls for just normal single crochets from start to finish, so that means 5, 8, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And the next row calls for 8 single crochets as well, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now I have already done 4 rows. This is now gonna be, yeah, that's my cheat sheet for the pattern. It kind of blew into the frame, but I still have to look at it, and don't worry, I am gonna post the whole diagram with all the nice signs on my homepage, and well, I do hope I will have free space somewhere around here to just post it every now and then as well on YouTube for you to see. So this much is done. Now I have to go this way with the stitches, so it's gonna be increases on this side and decreases on the other side. I'm gonna do a chain 1. Now I said it's gonna be an increase on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. No, I made a mistake. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a decrease as a last stitch. That's me not paying attention to the pattern. Okay, so this is row number 5. Now I'm up to the next row. There's a single crochet till the last stitch, and in the last stitch it's gonna be an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And I messed it up. I definitely have to double check the pattern again. Well, a good thing is I didn't mess up the pattern, so everything is fine. I have to do now, I'm here, as you can see, I have to do some chains and then continue on this side. Now I have to do chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and do single crochets where I left the first part of it. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm just gonna go back 1 stitch. I'm gonna work the tail in as I go, because that means in the end I won't have to worry, at least not with this one, to entangle or wave or sew it in at the end. So I'm sorry if it was a bit confusing, but I did want to double check my pattern in peace and quiet, that it is like it should be, and it's fine now, so I can continue. I think you know that I'm doing all these videos in one go, and yeah, I don't wanna, well, if I would have to, I would definitely not delete it, but I would just perhaps make a mark at the point where I would make a mistake, like don't do this but do the other stuff. So I am going now back here, and I have to do 8 plus 5 plus those 8 single crochets, and this is gonna be just a normal row with only single crochets, no increases, no decreases. So I have to go 5 single crochets here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think I missed one. Yeah, I'm just gonna go back just a little bit. One, two, three, four. This one is a bit hidden here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I didn't do it again. I'm just gonna remove this row and see what's going on. So it happens, it does happen. So I need to do chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then do single crochets in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the fifth one is a bit odd, but I'm just gonna have to struggle with putting the needle in. If I'm not gonna be able to do it like in as easy as it should be, I am just gonna use a much thinner needle for that. So I'm back at this row now, and the next row calls for single crochets all the way until the last one where there is a decrease. So single crochets, I'm just gonna use a thinner needle for this because it needs to go in here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now single crochets with the decrease at the end. So when I have just 2 more stitches at the end, I am gonna make a decrease. So just the front one, and then through back loops and do 1 single crochet. Now I have to do another decrease, so from now on all the rows until the end are gonna have a decrease on this side and a straight edge on the other side. So it's gonna be just the front one through both loops and get them together. And now single crochets till the end of the row and turning. And I have to do this kind of a pattern till the end for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. So I already have 2 rows done. And that means only 4 more to go, and then the last one is gonna be just single crochets on the top of the R. I think you can see that I'm actually doing this R for the first time because I got lost a bit in the pattern, but it's gonna come out nice still, so don't worry about it. So now I have 2 more till the end. I go just through the front one and then through the back one and do a single crochet. So now I need 3 more rows like that. Oops, you see a decrease on this edge and a single crochets till the end of the row. Just single crochets all the way. Now chain 1 to go into the next round and single crochets almost till the end. Just before I get to the end I have to do a decrease. And then I'm gonna count the rows. Now I have 2 more left. That means a decrease here. Now I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 1 more row like this. So chain 1 and a decrease. And single crochets till the end of the row, and the last row is single crochets in each of the single crochet of the previous round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the last round is just single crochets in all the single crochets of the previous round. Now the second part of the letter R will soon be over. Looking good, right? So this is the end. Cut the yarn, pull it, oops, I shouldn't pull it through, I should have made a chain 1 and then pull it through. So I think you can see it's a Sunday because I'm not as focused as I should be. But I did want to make this tutorial for you So yeah, chain one and then pull it through. Now all I have to do is make the second leg down here. So now I'm gonna start with the second leg of the letter R. I am gonna start on this side here. Let me just get something to drink first. Okay, now I can continue. So the second leg of the letter R is gonna be, the first row is gonna be a decrease and normal single crochets all the way along, and that's why I'm gonna then come to 8 single crochets, because don't forget I did a chain of 9 here. So it's gonna be a decrease and then 7 more single crochets, and then it's gonna be 3 rows of decreases on this side and increases on this side. And yeah, I'm gonna then slowly, or I'm gonna then tell you what to do next. So I'm just gonna start. I said it's gonna be 9 single, 9, I have here the chain of 9. So I'm gonna start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm gonna start in the last one. Actually, in the first one. So I'm gonna do a slip stitch. Is it gonna come in now? Okay, so a slip stitch, a chain 1, and a single crochet. I am gonna work this tail in, so I'm just gonna lay it over my work and hopefully it will stay there. So I need 7 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, I'm trying to get 2 strands of yarn through so I don't get any holes. And now I have 2 more stitches left of the previous round, and all I have to do is do a decrease. And I do know that this is gonna be hard, so as you saw, I already put in the needle in the first one. I'm gonna use my second hook for the second one and just make a single crochet now. Okay, and this is now the start of the second leg of the R. Now on the inner sides it's gonna be decreases, on the outer side it's gonna be increases. So another decrease, and I need 3 rows like this. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, an increase. Now this is row number 1 done with this, and now I have another one with the increase at the start and a decrease at the end. Now it's gonna be the third row like this, with a decrease on the inner side. The inner side meaning next to the leg, and the outer side is this side. So decrease and an increase on the outer side. One, two, three, four, five, 6, and 7, 8 is an increase. I'm just gonna check the number of rows. So it's 1 and 1, 2, 3. Now I have to do a normal one, so that means just single crochets on top of the previous round. That means 8 single crochets. And again a decrease on the inner side and an increase on the outer side. Now just remember I'm gonna just use another piece of paper. Just remember a normal one and a decrease and an increase. I have to do this 3 times, so I already done it once. Now on the outer side it's an increase, so that means 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Then 5 single crochets and a decrease in the last 2 stitches. And now the next row is just normal single crochets. Now again an increase on the outer side, so that means 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then single crochets until the end of the row. When I have 2 more left, just do a decrease. Now I have to do another normal one, so that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and another one with the increases on the outer side and a decrease on the inner side. So there's my decrease. I'm just gonna count the rows. Altogether it has to be 12 rows, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now this is gonna be 11th one. And just gonna double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And the last one is gonna be just single crochets till the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm gonna do a chain 1 and cut the yarn off, pull it through, and ta-da! The first of the letters R is done. I am gonna make another one. I'm gonna make another one because I'm doing them a bit puffy and I'm joining them together. So yeah, I think I better get started. So I'm gonna put it here so you can also see it. Chain 8, and I need 12 rows of 8 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Chain 1 and 8 single crochets in each of the chains of the first round. Actually, those chains don't even count as a row, it's just a preparation for a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now 11 more rows to go. I'm nowhere near 12. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm only on the 5th row at the moment. Now I'm in the 6th one. Seventh one. Now 8th one. Now this is gonna be the 9th one. 10th one, I am just gonna see if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. I have 8 single crochets, so I'm still on track. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now I'm up on the 12th row, and after the 12th row I'm gonna do the chains to extend the letter R. So that's my 12 rows. Now I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 chains. And after the 9th chain, I'm gonna do chain 1 just to go into the next round. And in the second chain from the hook, I'm gonna do an increase, so that means 2 single crochets in one. And now single crochets till the end of the row. And there are 8 more left. Now altogether there are 4 more rows. On the straight edge it's straight edge, on the edge where there's a curve I have to do an increase, so I need 4 more rows like this. Now I'm working on the second one. Altogether there will be 5 rows. As I said, a straight edge on one side and an increase on the other side. And an increase in the last one. Again, an increase in the last one, and single crochets all the way along. Now I'm up to 4th row like this. So on the straight edge just do single crochets, and on the bubbly side I'm gonna do an increase. So in the last one, an increase, so that means 2 single crochets in one. Now I'm in the last row for this section, again 2 single crochets for an increase, and then single crochets till the end of the row. Can I say that it's gonna be the second part of the back up here? So that means 5 rows of 8 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now I just turn the work around and do 8 single crochets in the row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now I'm up in the third row. I'm in the 1, 2, 3, 4th row now. And in the 5th row. And then when I finish this 5th row, I'm gonna cut the yarn and continue with the bubbly part of the letter R. So that means in part 2 with the nice curve. I'm gonna do a chain 1 and cut the yarn. So I have to continue on this side now. So here is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's either in the 6th one from the left side or in the 9th one from the right side. You have to have 5 spaces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this one, and again I'm gonna go in with the wrong side. This is the right side because I'm working that way. So yeah, a single crochet, a chain, and a decrease. So putting the yarn through one and then in the next stitch, and I need 7 more single crochets. So that's 1 is already done, and altogether is gonna be 8. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now in the next one is gonna be an increase on the outer side. So that means 2 single crochets in one and a decrease on the inner side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a decrease, means I will have 8 single crochets. Now the next 2 rows is just single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and another one with 8 single crochets. Now the next one is gonna be, now we have to kind of turn that way, so it's gonna be increases on the inner side and decreases on the outer side. So an increase on the inner side and a decrease on the outer side. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, and the 8th one is the decrease. Perfect. So now I'm gonna do single crochets and an increase in the last stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, 9 is gonna be an increase. Now I have to do chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and join it with the other back of the R with a single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now I need 6 rows again, where I'm gonna be making a straight edge here and decreases on this side. So chain 1 to go into the next round. 1, 2, 3. Well, I'm not gonna count because it's gonna be way too much, to be honest. Now this should be 8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I have the chain 5 here. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab my much thinner needle to go into the first one, because that one did make some problems for me in the previous R. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and now just making the decreases at the end of the outer part of the R, so where there's no straight edges. Now I have 2 more stitches to go, so just making a decrease. Now that's the first row, and I need 6 more rows like this, so I'm just gonna put a marker down. So a decrease at the curvy side and a straight edge on the other side. Now that's the second row done like this, so I am up to the next one. Again, a straight edge on the back side and a decrease on the bubbly side. And a decrease. Now that's the third one done. Oh, I am running a bit out of yarn, but I think it should be enough, to be honest, for the R. Now I'm starting with a decrease and then single crochets till the end of the row. So on average, this is, wait, let me just double check how much is, this is 50 grams of yarn, and for 50 grams of yarn I kind of get 3 double letters out. So from the red one, from the red yarn, I got out letters E, M and R, and they are all in double because I am joining them together in the end to make them more puffy and stuffed. So I do hope I'm gonna have enough, to be honest. If not, I'm just gonna use a new ball of yarn and just continue from there. Oh, I forgot to put it out though. So this was row number 4. Now I'm on the row number 5. Now again, decrease in the last one. Okay, this is the 5th one. I need to do one more with a decrease, and then I'm in the last row where I have to just do single crochets. And now this is the last row, just single crochets on top of everything, and then the second part of the second R is gonna be done. Then all I have to do is the second leg of the letter R. Afterwards I'm gonna sew in all the loose ends and join them together with some yarn in a color of white, because I do want to have a feeling that it's kind of a Christmassy theme, to be honest. But you can definitely just have a letter like this, just block it, stiffen it, and you can use it like this, or you can just use the joining yarn in the same color. This much is left. I do hope I will have enough for the 12 rows that I need on the bottom part. So I'm gonna start. Does it matter where I start? Wait, let me just double check it. I'm just gonna start at this part like I did before. So in here, and I need to do single crochets, and then the last one is gonna be a decrease. So I'm just beginning with a slip stitch, a chain 1 and a single crochet. Now that's 1, 2, come on, it should be, it went so easily on the previous R, but yeah. So that's number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. I'm just gonna leave the end tail now because it's worked in enough. Now that's number 7. And now this is the last one. I'm gonna do the same thing as before. I'm gonna get the first yarn on my needle. Then I'm gonna use my handy dandy second needle, a much smaller one. I'm gonna go in with the second needle and just pull the yarn through and pull it over my hook. And now I can do a decrease easily. So the next 3 rows are gonna be decreases on the inner side and increases on the outer side. I already did a chain 1. Now I'm gonna do a decrease. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8 is gonna be an increase. That's the first row. Now the second row of it will be the same, an increase on the outer side and a decrease on the inner side. So I have 2 stitches left and I just join them together. Now that's the last one, a decrease and an increase on the other side. Now I need to do 3 times, the same as I did before, normal ones and an increases and a decreases. So I'm doing the normal one meaning just a single crochet on a single crochet of the previous round, and the other one is a decrease on the inner side where the 2 legs are and an increase on a, yeah, as I said it before, on a bubbly side. So now I'm on a decrease. And an increase at the end of the row. So that's my first one done. I need 2 more rows like this. So first it's a normal row. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now a decrease on the inner side and an increase on the outer side. I do hope that I will just make it till the end of this hour, where I will have enough yarn hopefully to do it. So this is the one with the increases. Now again a normal one. And one more with a decrease on the inner side and an increase on the outer side. I'm just gonna count the rows. That means is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the last 2 rows are just single crochets all the way along. And I am gonna show you how much yarn I have left over. So I'm happy that I'm gonna have enough yarn for the second R as well. And now this is the last row, just single crochets as well. I'm going to do a chain 1 and I can cut off the yarn, pull it through, and I have my 2 R's. So yeah, this is how much yarn I got left over. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm probably gonna make some flowers or something like that. Something that doesn't require much yarn. So let's see, I don't have to work in this one, so I'm just gonna snip it off. And I don't have to work in this one. I can also just snip it off. But the rest of them I think I do have to work in. No, I don't need to work in this one. I know I'm usually leaving the tails there, but I just cut those off today for me to see which ones I don't have to work in. I am gonna leave the rest of them in. So I'm gonna say this is gonna be, this is gonna be the front and this is gonna be the back. So I have to get all my loose ends on this side of the letter. I need these 2 loose ends only to work in on the first R. So these are the loose ends of the first are done. Now the second one has to be this one face up, so I have to get all the loose ends on the other side of the R. So I'm just gonna go in, and all the loose ends have to be on this side. I'm so glad that I had enough yarn to do the second R. I do have some spare yarn. I mean, I still have one skein of yarn of the red one, but I also have to make quite few letters. And the last two. And the last one. Okay, so this is the back side, this is the back side. The front side goes on my working table, and here I put the back side. The second one is going back side down and front side up. So these are the two R's. And where I'm actually gonna start is I'm gonna start with this hole here. So I'm getting my white yarn, and I'm just gonna go in. There are 5 single crochets inside here, so I'm just gonna go in. That's a bit long of a tail. Now chain 1 and a single crochet. This is gonna be a bit tricky, mostly to hold on to, but it can be done. So that's one, and I don't think I didn't go into the right one on both sides, so I'm gonna do it again. Do a chain 1 and a single crochet. Okay, now I can start working. I'm just doing single crochets in each of the stitches. Now I'm gonna do a slip stitch in the corner and then single crochets in each of the row. Okay, I kind of made a mess here, but don't worry, it can be all handled. So yeah, the point is just single crochet in each row, and then you get a nice even edge. Now this is the corner one. Again, in the corner one I'm gonna do a slip stitch, and now I'm going in I'm gonna change here to my much thinner needle. I'm just using the thinner needle to go into the tricky parts much easier. Okay, now I'm gonna switch to my normal needle. Again, in each row, just a single crochet. This is the trickier part, but it has to be done first, because you cannot fill that one at the end in. Now I'm gonna do a slip stitch here in the corner one and a single crochet in the next one. Oh, that was a challenge, to be honest, but it's done. I'm gonna pull the yarn through and join it, make the invisible join, so not in the first one, in the second one go in and then go back into the same stitch and pull it tighter so I have the same length of the stitch. Now I'm gonna do the same with the starting yarn. I'm just gonna get it to the back side, and then I'm gonna make a knot and it can rest there inside and it won't get moved or anything. So yeah, I have both sides now in the middle, so I'm just gonna make a knot or 2 or 3 or 10. This is not moving anywhere. So this is the middle part of the R done. Now I am gonna start with the second part of the R here on top. So I'm gonna start, for example, here. Now you don't have to do it in a different color. You can do it in the same color as your letter is, or you don't even have to join two R's together like I'm doing it. It's just something because I'm doing it stuffed and puffy, and yeah, this is how I want to show you how the letters are done. You can definitely skip out this part of it if you are just gonna have a single layer of the letter done. So, and also I am making these loops on top of the letters, so that means it's chain 2 and then go into the corner piece. To turn the corner, I am doing a single crochet, a chain 1 and another single crochet in the same space. Now all I have to do is single crochet around all the way down, and you can see there's a nice pattern on the back side as well, but I'm more interested in what's going on in the front. And I forgot my stuffing again, so I will have to go and get it in a bit, because I'm gonna be stuffing the letter R in parts. Every time a part will be kind of a closed, I am gonna stuff it because there's too many curves and bends to do it afterwards. So I'm now at the corner piece, chain 1 and a single crochet in the same one. I'm gonna do a chain 2 because I am making those loops. Chain 2, and in the last one now do a chain 1 and again a single crochet in the same stitch, and now I'm going up the letter. I'm gonna be putting all the loose ends in, hiding them. So the back side, oops, I got a bit out of the field of view. Well, I hope you still saw it, to be honest. Yeah. So we'll have to turn the corner soon, and in the corner I'm gonna just do a slip stitch and turn. I can do one more and then a slip stitch somewhere. There's one and there's two, should be. I'm just gonna switch to my much thinner needle for this one because it's much easier to go through. this is a slip stitch. And I am gonna actually fill this part of the R already. Here's my filling, my stuffing, and I'm just gonna use the loose ends that I've cut off as well. I'm gonna stuff it up and down, to be honest. And just a little bit more here. And now I'm gonna continue. Again, just doing single crochets in each row. As you can see, I am kind of pinning them with my fingers together, so I get a nice edge to work with. Now this is my last stitch, so I'm gonna turn the corner. Again, turning the corner is chain 1 and a single crochet in the same stitch. I'm gonna do the loop that I'm doing, so I did a chain 2 and now just single crocheting again. Chain 2 for the loop, and I'm at the last one. Now, because it's the last one, I'm turning the corner with chain 1 and a single crochet in the same stitch. And now single crochets in each row. I'm almost at the corner one. So in the last one I'm gonna do a slip stitch, and then I'm gonna continue with the curvy part. But before I do that, I just wanna stuff this part of the R. So the second leg is now stuffed, and I'm gonna just put a bit more here on the middle part. Perfect. Let's continue. Again, I'm gonna stuff a bit more. And I'm almost done, just few more stitches, or yeah, few more stitches on the curvy part, and then I'm gonna be up into the flat part. Now this is the corner one, chain one and turn the corner. Now I'm gonna do chain 2 to get the loop that I'm making, and now just single crochets till the beginning or until I finish. And I almost forgot to stuff it, so I did leave just enough for my finger to go in, and now stuffing it. And now I can finish it up. Now that was my last stitch. I could cut the yarn, pull the yarn through, not in the first one, in the second one, in, and come out in one of the holes in the middle. Now I'm gonna do the same with the other yarn. I'm gonna make a knot. And hide the knot inside. Now I'm gonna just pull those two loose ends into my work. And cut off the excess one. I pulled it a bit too tight here, but with a bit of stretching it can go to the right way. Okay, so yeah, this is my letter R done. I hope you enjoyed the video tutorial. I know it's a bit long again, but I do want to show you the whole process. Don't forget, if you want to be notified when I'm having something new, hit that subscribe button and you're gonna get the notifications. If you have any questions, you can definitely leave a comment below and I'm gonna try to get back to you as soon as possible. And until next time, happy crafting!